Growing up, my parents split at a young age, and with that, my mother decided to move on. Well, when she moved on, she got with a man named David, who was an African American. My mother's side of the family accepted him and acted like he was a part of the family for years, while my dad's side of the family hated him. They always said rude and racist remarks about him, especially when they found out my mother was pregnant with his child. All I heard was, "You cannot mix white and blacks. It's against God's will." I never understood what he meant by that, especially with my school in Jacksonville, Florida being very diverse. There was blacks, whites, Asians, and Hispanics all mixed in. They didn't separate them. But with social media starting to take a big effect, and with me growing up and getting all these devices, I learned very quickly that racism was still very prominent in the United States. With that, the social media, the death of Trayvon Martin made national headlines. He was killed for playing his music too loud, and it made no sense how you can kill someone for playing their music too loud and get no jail time. That's when Black Lives Matter started to take effect. They started making protests, they started making themselves well known, and they started to spread awareness that there should be no more anti-blackness in a country that is supposed to be equal for all. They started doing many protests across the world, or across the United States, such as in Jacksonville, California, especially Washington, D.C., and now they have murals of Black Lives Matter on the most popular streets. This is not a movement to where they want to make black people above or more superior than everyone else. They just want to make sure that they are in fact equal and that they get the same treatment as everyone else should. Unlike Breonna Taylor, who had cops bust into her house and kill her while she was asleep. She just got off of a 12-hour shift of working at paramedics. Or George Floyd, where he had a cop kneel down on his neck. He said, "I can't breathe," and they did not care, and he later died. This is a movement that's not just for mainly straight heterosexual black people. This is for the LGBT, this is for trans, this is for queer, this is for people in villages, not even in the United States. Black trans women are the most targeted people in the United States, and they would have put an end to that. They just want to make sure that them as a race is safe, just as a white man would be walking into the store. They've made plenty of changes, such as cops are not allowed to take off their body cameras. There is no more chokeholds, and there is no more kneeling on anybody. Their influence is so big to the point to where they got the LAPD to cut the donations in half of police officers and give it to the schools, as well as the homeless and healthcare. This isn't just to change the small complications. This is to make sure that the United States does in fact treat everyone as equal, as they should. Black Lives Matter is a great group to support, as well as make well known, because they're not just here to be selfish and make themselves seem better than the rest. They're here because they want to be a part of everything, with no more hatred, no more racism. They don't want to sit there and take a jog in Georgia and get lynched and have it recorded as it was a game. They just want to make sure that their people are protected and that they can actually live a full life. They want to get rid of the angry black woman, every black man is a thug kind of stereotype that has been well known well known everywhere.